Hello, I'm Conor Meade, and we're here today at the 2015 Canadian Science Policy Conference. And joining us right now is Dr. Remi Quirion, who's the Chief Science Officer of Quebec. So thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Quirion.
Bonjour.
Welcome to the conference.
Merci.
Excellent. So why don't we start off, can you tell us a little bit about your role as Chief Science Officer of Quebec?
Yep, position was created 4 years ago by the Quebec government and basically advise the Quebec government for all aspects of research and innovation. So that's part of the role. Another part of the role is that I chair the three funding council in Quebec. One dealing with health sciences, the other one science and engineering, and the third one social science, arts and humanities. And what we try to do is to make scientists from all fields to work more closely together to solve or resolve big challenges of our society like climate change.
So what do you think are some ways that we can make it facilitate science advice to government and make it so that evidence and science is a larger part of the policy-making and decision-making process?
So I think that's one of the objectives of the Quebec government when they created the job, basically to base decision a bit more on science, on evidence from scientific research, from scientific studies. Of course, in the end, I advise government, like the other chief scientists worldwide, we advise. We are not the elected official. So even if we provide the evidence, elected official may decide against that because of the political scene. So I think, but having access to the advice, I think is key for elected officials as well as civil servants, so that they know a little bit better when they make a decision, they take a decision, the pros and cons of the decision. So that's still challenging. It needs to be based on trust. So they need to trust us, trust me. We need to have a good personal relationship with these elected officials so that they are not concerned, they are not afraid of calling upon us, upon me, when they have questions. And we try to have a quick turnaround so that they can base their decision on some more scientific evidence.
Absolutely, yeah. So one of our major themes at the conference has been digital literacy. So helping get young people involved in science and technology and developing that digital literacy from a young age. In terms of providing science advice to the government, do you think it is also an effective strategy to work on educating the population so that hopefully we can count on them to elect policymakers who are more scientifically literate and have more respect for the scientific process?
This is critical, extremely important. So education for us and for me, at the end, that's basically the starting point. So providing the young with the best we can in terms of education, and that goes from arts to science to economy to business. So all aspects of education, investing into education is investing into our future. This is absolutely essential. Digital literacy, of course, it's part of the deal today. It's a revolution. So we are in my mind, we are into a new civilization. The digital civilization will change the world as much as the industrial revolution 200 years ago. So it's a tipping point. So we have to make sure that our population are literate in terms of digital use of digital instruments. So that's very, very, very important. And then these guys, eventually you, the younger generation, may be interested to think about going into politics and using a bit more evidence-based type of strategy to make political decision in the future.
Excellent. So as a final question, what do you think that scientists can do to better communicate their ideas to policymakers and perhaps do a better job of developing that political influence like from their position right now?
I think a lot of that is probably kind of education related. We have to learn the language of the others. So basically, as scientists, we have one language. Policymakers have another language, and it's not French and English. Often it's like the distance is a bit more like English and Chinese. So at the beginning you say, what are they talking about? So when you start to learn the language of the other, then you see, aha, if we work together, we can achieve so much more. So one of the things that I would like to do, for example, in Quebec, is to have scientists, not everyone, but scientists that are interested having the opportunity to go to work as a civil servant for 6, 7, 8 months, for example. And the reverse, to have a civil servant work in an academic institution, an academic lab. So then you understand a bit more, a bit better, the challenge of each other. And then it will be much easier for the scientists, I think, to send advice or to explain what they are doing in a simple manner that can be useful for the elected official and the civil servant. So I think knowing each other better, relationship again, is the key.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. Quirion, merci beaucoup pour l'interview, pour la conversation. C'était un grand plaisir. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you so much for joining us.
Merci beaucoup. Merci bien. See you.